G'day guys and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Well, on Sunday afternoon, the 2022 NRL regular season is finished with the Tigers losing to the Raiders 54 points to 10. In this video, I'm going to be speaking about the season. There's going to be plenty of videos just like this in the off season. Here's your first one, and this one relates to the stadiums that I went to in 2022. I saw a lot of people doing stadium challenges, and look, I could do that of my own and make a separate video in relation to that, but I'll be speaking about the types of matches that I watched, which was 33 regular NRL season games, and I went to over 10 stadiums, plenty of different stadiums, experienced some new ones, returned to some old ones. There's a few I'd like to get to next year, hopefully, but went all out as footy returned after obviously being moved to Brisbane in 2021, but let's get straight into this video. It's going to be big. So what better way to start this video off with the home of the Parramatta Eels now. I went to every single Parramatta Eels home game this season, besides a game against the South Sydney Rabbitohs. I also missed out on the Rabbitohs game at ANZ, which was Accor Stadium, which was a very rainy night, but lots of footy experience throughout the year. A win against the Melbourne Storm is always good, especially in the final round of the season, knocking them out of the top four most recently. A few funny old losses against the West Tigers in our Easter Monday clash. Jackson Hastings kicking a field goal in that one, and then some big scores. 48 points scored against the St. George Illawarra Dragons, 42 points scored against the Bulldogs, who had, which I'll get to earlier, beaten us in the season. But overall, pretty good record at home. The home fans turned up. Biggest crowds of the season for the NRL was put up as a post on Facebook as well. And just quickly, I'll touch on the change of food and drink. We had plenty of great beverages. My favourite beverage at the moment being 4X Gold. But outside, we have food trucks available for families at some reasonable prices as well. And some great food. There's good chicken wings, nuggets and chips. So plenty of options throughout CommBank Stadium. It feels like they removed some things. We used to have pizza within the stadium, but it seems like that has gone and a thing of the past. But yeah, some great crowds and some great memories at CommBank this year, and hopefully we can come back big and strong to our home stadium next year. In round number 2, the Parramatta Eels lost to the Cronulla Sharks in a very close, low-scoring game. I think the score was 16 points to 18. We lost by 2. Teague Wilton scoring on the siren. I was at this game at Shark Park. It was a fantastic vlog, a great atmosphere. I really did enjoy the atmosphere of Sharks fans. They got loud there, and I remember having a chorizo sausage on a roll, and I'll tell you what, a bit spicy, but that was a nice little treat. It's obviously hard to get to Shark Park for me, and that's why I won't be going to the Sharks and Cowboys qualifying final this weekend, but not a big fan of this stadium overall. I haven't, the last few times I've been there, enjoyed it, but I'll tell you what, this year, just that atmosphere, if the Sharks are for the next couple of years at least going to be a dominant side, then I might try and get down to some Sharks games. I think it'll be one hell of a vlog to get behind them. And obviously I mentioned the food being great there as well. Next up is McDonald Jones Stadium, the Newcastle Knights home. 2 trips to this one. First one being the Knights and the Tigers, where the Knights got the home fans riling. 26 points to 4, a good victory over the Tigers, and a loss over the Eel. 39 points to 2, I think was the scoreline. It was a big score that game. They took the 2 early on. Yeah, not much to say here. Newcastle's a pretty good stadium. I had a seat up high for the first game against the Tigers, and then a seat really close to the action for the Eels game, where we just put that kind of score on them. I remember having an Iron Jack. I can't remember what I ate at this game. I think I might have just had some hot chips, but between Iron Jack and 4X at a game. I often do drive to games, so that's one drink for old EH. But McDonald Jones Stadium, it's a really nice stadium, and I think I'll be back again in 2023. Next up, I headed to the home of BKR Sport, Cbus Super Stadium, the Gold Coast Titans going up against the Parramatta Eels. I was very lucky to go to this game. I secured some great tickets close to the action. I really enjoyed this stadium. The only thing I'd say, and obviously BKR gets that drum and gets that crowd going, but I feel like you Titans fans, you need to be louder. There is plenty of you. I saw it there. Just hearing it, a different story. You want a revenge over the Eels after their 32-28 point win in round one, but came very close against the Eels with a 26-20 loss at that point in the season. You scored plenty of points throughout your season, Titans, and you were loud through that TV at most parts, but just being there, I just felt like it could have been louder. Once again, I can't remember. I think I might have an Iron Jack, but I really, really enjoyed this experience. I don't know if I'll be back next year, but we will see. It's a great stadium nonetheless. Next up, two very high-scoring games at my own home, the Central Coast Stadium. The first one being the Rabbits defeating the Sea Eagles in a very high-scoring one where Manly had a man down for most of the match. And then the other game was the Roosters and the Dragons, a very entertaining game where Joey Manu faked an injury. Central Coast Stadium, I think the variety for food is not really there. I think they need to look at adding more things. Obviously got food trucks out the back, but they're standard slushies, snow cones kind of things. But great crowd for that Dragons-Roosters game. It was a sunny, good conditions game. As for the Manly game, I don't remember it too much. I remember it was a night game, very high scoring, but the crowd didn't seem to be too much into it. But yeah, Central Coast always good. Now, as for Panthers Stadium, Bluebet Stadium, I hadn't been there since 2019, so it was fantastic to get back there, and even better to get the win against our Western rivals, the Penrith Panthers. I remember being in line for a good 10 to 15 minutes of the bloody second half for donuts and hot chocolate. They need to work on the lineups. That obviously maybe the start of or the very back end of COVID, maybe staff reduction. But yeah, returning obviously on Friday night for a huge game, qualifying final, and I'll make sure not to make the same mistake. But very good variety. They got pizzas out the back. I enjoyed my pizza when I went to the Panthers and the Cowboys game, where I got to see Sam Revel, CJ Moxley. I think Pro Enzo Vids was there. I can't remember. Nick from Australia was there. Kieran Sports Vlogs, plenty of great YouTubers, an absolutely fantastic night out. I've been to plenty of stadiums throughout doing these NRL videos, but I'll tell you what, Suncorp Stadium doesn't come anywhere close to any of the... they had frozen cocktails, they had the massive American pizza slices. I went twice this year, went to the entire Magic Round, all 8 games of rugby league, and then went to the mighty Maroons beating New South Wales in the Queensland Decider. What an atmosphere that was. Suncorp Origin, finally off the list. I've been waiting years to do that one. And then Magic Round, I finally experienced Golden Point. I'd waited years and years for that moment. But yeah, we got some scrappy games for the most part at Magic Round, and then some really, really entertaining games and some reverses of last year. Obviously, the Broncos defeating the Sea Eagles with a huge scoreline there. But yeah, as for the most, Magic Round, a great success. Lots of food and drink options at Suncorp Stadium, and always a great time. I can't wait for Magic Round in 2023. Next up, Roosters versus Panthers at the SCG. Penrith Panthers winning 32-12. I remember this game because I backed Jerome Luai, first try scorer, and actually got the tip. I think he scored a double, maybe even the first 2 tries of the game. It's not a stadium for footy. I'm glad it's kind of over. I remember having a Red Bull. I don't remember much else. I was with League Central, aka Jared Finch, but yeah, glad that we are not heading back there in 2023 for rugby league. I think I only did the one trip to Accor Stadium this year, and that was for the Bulldogs and the Eels, where the Bulldogs defeated us 34 points to 4. Had a pretty good side on paper for the most part. We were very low odds to win that game, but we lost it. I remember having a really nice donut. I think it was the Donut Co. Shout out to them. Yeah, it was an okay day. Obviously didn't get the result we wanted, but I thought for the most part the crowd was really getting behind the Bulldogs, and it was great to see them get a much needed win at that point of the season. Leichhardt Oval, once again, I don't believe I've been there since 2019 when the Tigers took on the Sharks for a spot in the 8. Might have even been 2018, it was a long time ago. And I went there for the Eels and the Tigers game. I was going to go to the Raiders and Tigers, kind of glad I didn't. I remember having a Dagwood dog. That was quite nice. Lots of food truck options out the back. A nice, decent crowd at Leichhardt Oval. The hill was muddy and it was buzzing. Everyone was loud. And obviously Parramatta got the win 28 points to 20. And I believe we hadn't had a win at Leichhardt Oval in about 20 years. So that was a great result. Yeah, hopefully Leichhardt Oval does not get knocked down like they're saying. And we get some great games for the Tigers at Leichhardt Oval in 2023 and even beyond. Next up, Kogarah, the home of the Dragons. I tell you what, I really rate this stadium. It's the best stadium to meet players post-game probably as well. Bankwest is definitely up there. Love a Villies pie, chips and Coke. I think it's about $15, so pretty decent price for that. Went to the Dragons taking on the Cowboys where they were in it at halftime and then blown away, and obviously defeating the Broncos just recently. That was a really good atmosphere last game for the Dragons for Tariq Sims and a few other players, Josh Maguire. A great atmosphere on Saturday night. No vlog for that one, but really enjoyed being there. And obviously Kogarah and also WIN Stadium, Ben Hunt coming off a phenomenal season, but really, really like this stadium. Hopefully they do more home games in 2023. Next up, the new Four Pines Park, also known as Brookvale Oval or Lotto Land. I've never been a huge fan of this stadium. They've obviously built a section where it used to be a kind of hill out the back, but now it's kind of a corporate area, so you've only got the hill on the side. And look, the seats I had a really good view of the field, especially on that left wing on the far side. I remember seeing a few of those plays from Kieran Foran to, I think it was Jason Saab. And I did enjoy watching those type of things. Good food options. They have seafood baskets for about $18, so pretty good deals for the most part. I never used to like this stadium, but it's starting to grow on me, Four Pines Park. Next up, Canberra. I remember having a beer. I can't remember if it was Iron Jack or 4X Cold. This game was against the Dragons. The Raiders prevailed 24 points to 22 in a very exciting, close game of footy. It was like a repeat of what we saw earlier in the season where they weren't square at marker and no penalty given. I remember having some buffalo wings that were, you had your own sauce. You had to make these crispy wings and dip them in. They didn't have the sauce on it for you, but I like Canberra Stadium. It's obviously friggin' cold, so make sure you take a jacket if you go there. But it seems to be an annual trip now. I did it twice last year, once this year. I'll be back in 2020. Finally, the opening of Allianz Stadium against the rivals, the South Sydney Rabbitohs, defeating them in the regular season for the first time in a long time in the final round, 26 points to 16. South just didn't play all that well, in my opinion. It'll be a great finals game this weekend. As for the food, I had a pizza, had some chicken tenders, decently priced as well. Obviously, they had the 50% off the drinks. I remember having a Red Bull for about $3, so that was a bargain. A really great crowd at a sold-out event. I love the opening of stadiums, and it was one of the loudest I've heard in a long time. I feel like personally it was probably louder than the opening of CommBank, and Roosters fans don't travel, in my opinion, but they really do turn up at home, and I can't wait to get behind the Roosters once again as they knock out South Sydney on Sunday. But those are my little reviews of the stadium. Let me know what stadiums you went to in 2022. Also, guys, I will be going live tomorrow to announce I've got all the screenshots of the people who picked upsets for the round, and obviously those people will go in the winning to win a NRL Best and Less edition jersey. So yeah, keep an eye out for that video tomorrow. As I mentioned, Eels Panthers vlog on Friday and Roosters Rabbitohs final elimination on Sunday. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys later.